maybe that's the play now because they needed something to break. So we're going to kick off into game number 2. Let's see what we've got. Let's see if Box Esports can actually take us into a game number 3, or Team Secret just going to continue their winning ways, try to get themselves back into a good place in the standings. We wouldn't have thought at the beginning of the split that Team Secret was going to be sitting in the basement, but here we are.
Yeah, seeing Artifact going a little bit safer in his own choices, doesn't want to actually wants to bully the lane a little bit harder rather than get some free gold and whatnot with first strike. Doesn't feel comfortable with that.
Oh.
Early run for Zodiac.
Okay. What a
Good
play
hook.
also. Yeah, great play. I think Artifact is just dead too because Nugu positions perfectly for it. That's that right there. Yeah, first blood going over to Zodiac. Really, really well played right there by Nugu. And a great roam by Zodiac as well, kind of baiting an Artifact, getting the flash. Nugu has the flash as well just to get the last little bit of damage, but ends up making it work. Well played. A first blood onto the mid laner.
First blood. It's a little bit of a shame that it had to be the Ignite that finished it, but Suhao tried to do his best, and Guardian pretty much was a good move to get the Guardian proc and force it to go wrong, but Zodiac's just in the right position. He's able to land some pretty, somewhat funny little hook, but Nugu's flash is also forced, and it all works out okay. Things do not stop.
Yeah, we are level 1 Aphelios. There are no abilities on this champion. How in the world did you take that bad of a trade at the beginning of the game? I don't get it. It literally can't even press an ability because there's not one to be had at level 1. I know there's Red Gun, which is disgusting. Like, Severum is great, right? But, like, how in the world are we losing that immediately? Is Nugu also getting run down by Artifact?
He doesn't have a flash.
No, doesn't have Distortion either.
But...
Yeah, neither one of them do, but Nugu thankfully able to get out. His Victor's damage at the beginning of the game just not that high. And teleport's available for Nugu, so could just TP to lane in exchange for what happened to Artifact, because Artifact died and had to TP immediately anyway as well. So, I don't know. Back and forth. Tomrio now on top of Yang, looking for something, as Zaya and Rakan are pushed back quite far because Eddie had to leave the lane at the beginning. Eddie had to flash at the beginning of the lane. This is such a weird beginning of the game. Box Esports has been able to come out pretty on top of, to be quite honest.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, I can only assume a hook landed onto Eddie, and then you just have that trading power coming in from those steel shoulder guards. But good news from Suhao, but the Flay, he still has a way out. It's okay from Suhao, just trying to do his best, not letting Slows get that sort of cheeky reset for that call. And all is well in the bot lane for MBE. Zodiac's grabbed the Thresh, and he has already had a immense impact on this game. He's got first blood. He can probably back and grab some early boots and try and make his impact felt even more.
Tomrio. Hey, what are we doing, Kang? Are you gonna fight or are you not gonna fight? All right. Where's Chips in the Night here, passing by. And he's gonna lose both Scuttle Crabs too, because Tomrio's the first one up to the top side of the map. Although Tomrio did smite that, I don't think he's going to have it back quite fast enough for Kiang to not be able to take it, but Kiang is not even going to matter because he smites the Raptor camp away. Oh, okay. This has been a very strange beginning of the game. I feel like, I don't know what happened to Team Secret, but they don't really feel like they have any justification for some of the actions that they've taken so far. Again, Artifact dying at level 1, Eddie having to flash at level 1. Like, I don't know. That right there was also really wacky because Yang felt like there was an angle to make some sort of play into Nugu with the health trade that Artifact had taken earlier, and then he just didn't. There's so many things that are happening in this game that feel like it's not Team Secret that it reminds me of why they are sitting at 3 and 6 right now at the bottom of the standings.
They've certainly struggled a lot, and it's been I've been giving a lot of the praise to Zodiac, presumably find the hooks. Technically still don't actually know what happened level 1 in the bot lane, but Eddie had to flash, Eddie had to leave immediately, and that gave full control of the spot side to the side of MBE, and they're just happily playing it out as they want. Nothing actually bought from Zodiac. I guess maybe a ward was bought and dropped somewhere by him. Hook goes to the post.
I see. And now Zodiac positioned a little too far up, wasn't able to get anything else. Just slows really far up for Kiang. Yeah, that was okay. Flash from Kiang does nothing. Unfortunately, Gravitum not quite available yet. Maybe actually we'll have it in a couple of seconds. Great hook, as that's going to be a response as Tomrio finds the first one. Eddie now wants to try to clean up on the other side, but he's going to get stunned up. And that means that Slows is going to be able to clean up 1-for-1 here. Yes, you get 1 for Eddie, but you're going to take that all day as it was a big kill for Slows here on the bottom side of the map. is now going to be able to shove in the wave as well, deny some more minions over to Eddie to begin with, as his bottom lane has not been the way that Team Secret wants it to be.
Yeah, Zodiac absolutely smurfing these plays. He misses that first hook, but absolutely makes up for it in the back half. On the top side, Summer is just casually winning in the pressure. Get good interrupt there by the Thresh, but Slows kind of steps up a bit too far, and it's just a pretty much pure luck for them that Kiang flubs it, because if Kiang had actually landed that, it would have been fantastic. I didn't even notice that it was set up by the Grafton route, so good combination coming out from the side of the bot lane, and man, Zodiac don't stop.
Okay, and now Zodiac has picked up 3 kills on this Thresh to begin the game, which is just insane, as Nugu able to help find an additional kill against Artifact, this Victor being shut out of the game, the Xayah being shut out of the game by this support Thresh, as it has just been the most active I think we've seen Zodiac the entire split. Basically, he's like, hey, Tom Rio, I'll show you how to jungle, and then just does it. What a Hex Flash, and what a hook as well to be able to set this up. As Nugu then also double chains, which is a really, really good combination from the LeBlanc to make sure that this ends up working. I'm upset that the kill, again, doesn't go over the LeBlanc, but it doesn't matter all that much because it's another big shutdown, more time that Artifact has to spend out of the laning phase.
Yeah, and I know there's nothing wrong with giving gold to Thresh. If he can get, he's got that Kindle Gem, he's got those boots. He can now land one hook and then nothing can be done. Team Secret will simply die, for they will be CC forever. Because Thresh is kind of silly right now on this patch. Anyway, Dragon will be obtained by Team Secret catching the resets. And that's something working out for them. It's going to be a little bit of tenacity that will help out about against Zodiac, who has been Menace, of course. And we just need to see where sort of anything goes. Kyung not really getting involved. His Vi's are just not really showing up. Well, at least he did try something in the bot lane, got turned around, but that's something. Now on the top side, we're just seeing Sunma slowly win out, so everything's coming up fine. Rift Herald about to spawn, and Nugu already first on the roam, wanting to try and make something happen in the top side to make this bot lane, this Rift Herald easier. Goodbye.
Wow. It was really funny because it looked like Nugu was just kind of roaming towards the tower, like he was trying to bail before that play had started, not wanting to dive, and then Kratos goes jumping, and it's like, oh, okay. I guess Sunmer will be able to ultimate. I guess Nugu's going to be able to ultimate. I guess everybody's going to be able to ultimate, and it's not going to cost absolutely anything to make that play happen, because that's going to be Rift Herald opened up for this squad. Box Esports looking so much better in this game. Again, shut out bottom lane, shut out mid lane, now top lane getting shut down as well. 20 CS advantage for Sunmer. You have 10 CS advantage here on the bottom side for Slows as well as the kill, as now there's a bit of a fight coming through. Get denial from Zodiac as Eddie's trying to force on something. Rakan ends up picking up that kill with the level 6. That means the Zuhao is going to be in a great place now. Slows taking a one-on-one against Eddie, basically. Green Gun gets burnt out as Calibrum no longer available. Instead, it's the Infernum and it's the Crescendum, which is not a great set of guns to be fighting with without an ultimate, without anything else. So just going to bail. Instead, it is just the kill for the bottom lane here for Team Secret.
Yeah, Zodiac getting a little bit overexcited there. Flight pushes up aggressively, and it's a nice return from Eddie, having good positioning on that blade caller to try and to lock him up. And there's a lot of damage coming out from Eddie and Zuhao. That's just how it is with the the bonus damage of the W. And they just do so much to Zodiac. He can't really do anything. It's good play from Slows to not get followed up on immediately, but it's a play for Team Secret that they needed. That stabilizes the bot lane. It gets Eddie back into it, and it means Team Secret do get slowly closer to approaching that sort of team fight spike where they can actually try and scrounge something back from the side of MBE, who have been having a good early game so far. The proactivity has increased immensely, and it's all been centered around the Thresh. For worse in that case, but mostly for the better.
Now, Team Secret still has a decent bit of scaling in Artifact in the mid lane. I know that the Victor's been shut down more or less at the beginning of this one, but still has an opportunity to make something happen. And again, if plays on the bottom side don't continue to kind of trickle over to slows, eventually this laning advantage will go away. It's about 13 minions here. Maybe 2 waves is the easiest way to put it here for slows, as Kiang finds his way into the bottom side. Rift Herald was taken by Tamriel. I do want to note that very, very quickly, that can go down either in mid or bot or even top. I think all of them are great options here for Box Esports. It's just a determination of finding which one's going to be available to absorb that Rift Herald play. Not bot lane right now. They're covering really heavily on bottom side. I almost would prefer to go to top to try to break this cannon completely out of the lane phase. Instead, they drop it mid lane. Just to, I was going to say to dump some gold to No-Go, who is going to be able to get an auto attack off. Okay, yeah, that is going to be at least a little bit of gold. It's not going to crack more than 1 plate, but at least No-Go has more pressure now that if a play goes badly for Artifact in the mid lane, there's real legitimate threat on that mid tower.
Yeah, personally, I do like this mid lane threat, and but bit of a mismatch, and they didn't time it fantastic to really try and get the most out of it. But I prefer that. I think you can quite happily extend this top laning phase as long as you possibly can. And you're just going to see more and more returns for Sunma come out of it. Mm-hmm. You see Kratos already down about 30 CS. He's down a plate as well, almost a second one that should fall on this next crash. Sunma just quietly winning. He will be a pretty effective threat in team fights, especially with no one there to exhaust him. It's going to be up to Kratos to try and find a way to knock him out if he can time that knock correctly. But if he can't, that should just be a free access for Sunma to just wreak havoc. Can they find anything onto Nugu? Not really likely, given it's LeBlanc. And they just need to try and do something. They want to try and get something onto this Victor, try and race them ahead on the Glorious Evolution passive. There is a dragon available, and they have got the pressure in the mid and bot side to try and set that up. Someone who's lurking though. He might go for a steal and then lantern out.
Okay, Tamriel, Zodiac. Will they combine for it? There is the lantern. Ultimate comes out, and he gets it. Tamriel makes the hero play. It's not the biggest deal in the entire world. It only evens up the dragon count, but it is a bit of resilience coming out from the side of Box Esports, because again they got handily dealt with in game number 1. So coming out with that that kind of confidence here in game number 2 is quite nice. Tamriel just feeling himself, pops the ultimate over to pit, gets lanterned out. Nothing crazy about that one. Making sure the Team Secret doesn't have that late scaling option. Instead, there's a legitimate threat for a 5 dragon soul, especially with, I think it's Hextech Drake. That's a solid soul to be able to grab up. Mid lane, Artifact. Bone plating's broken. Nugu just dropping a single Q on him is just going to push Artifact back once again in the laning phase. As nothing is broken completely out, it is a 3k advantage here for Box Esports, but nobody's really been taking advantage of. Ultimate's getting there. Zodiac just has to flash and misses the hook afterwards, so there's not much else to be said. This play is mostly done. And he's dropping some solid damage with the feathers. You do have to be careful for the feather pull eventually here against the side of Box Esports.
Full Gale Force complete, so it's actually going to be winning out in this damage trade. So it just has to do his best to try and clear the wave. We've seen a decent amount of pressure coming in from Kyung to try and give this bot lane some advantage, and they've had pretty much full push for a while and full control over it. It's a decent play. Forces Zodiac Splash, which isn't the most impressive thing to come out of it, but when you really only committed the ultimate from Kyung and the quickness, it's all fine.
That it is. Oh, Sunmer now actually has a great angle onto Kratos. It just stunned him, got a second stun with the ultimate, and only dropped that kill by maybe an auto's worth of damage, if not a little bit more, but not a ton. That should open up Sunmer for first tower of the game, though. I mean, even with the plates gone now, you can see that Yang wants to wrap around, wants to make sure that Sunmer cannot, and Sunmer will pull off his mid lane. There's another fight. It's Nugu up against Artifact. Taking off the bone plating, taking off some additional damage. But nothing so far from Box Esports has really broken the game open completely. I was hoping first tower on top side would do it. I was hoping some of the plays on bottom side would do it. I was hoping a play in mid lane would eventually do something, as Artifact just going to be able to shove back Nugu yet again. Doesn't burn the ultimate in an attempt to shove out the LeBlanc, but not going to have too much of an impact. Rift Herald 2 might be an option here for Box Esports. I feel like they've gotten enough on the top side that it shouldn't be that big of an issue grabbing it up. Instead, they're going to lean towards this mid tower, try to grab that one. A bit of a team fight now. Kiang tries to enter. Zuhao is trying to start up enough people. That's going to be one on the front line. As Zodiac is going to go down to Eddie. And Box Esports had an opening and just are not able to take it. Instead, Team Secret finds a kill, probably grab up the Rift Shield. They're going to trade it for top tower, maybe bottom tower too. Kratos should be able to clear this wave sufficiently, so it should just be top tower for Rift Herald here.
Yep, they didn't really want to commit too much. They were just trying to put the pressure on and see if Nuka could force Artifact out of lane and crack that mid lane tower. But they weren't really going to commit to it that hard. Okay, Tamriel going to try and upset Kratos, but that's...
Actually did get the Megan, or just at the last second flash from Slows is going to get something as Tamriel is not going to fall to the tower. Slows is able to grab this bottom tower as well on top of it. So eventually a play completely breaks open this bottom side where Slows is going to be able to be very, very big. Nubu dropping damage, and the chain going to force the flash out of Eddie with the response from Zuhao. There's not going to be any additional follow-up from Nogo. Because out of nowhere, I thought Team Secret maybe had gotten themselves out of the weeds for a second there, only for Box Esports to win out on that bottom lane and that top lane simultaneously. Now Team Secret's even more of a hole than we thought they were going to be in.
Yeah, and that with that swap as well, it allows Nugu to actually win out in mid lane. He wasn't able to find anything onto Artifact, had the right rune setup, had the Merc treads. So Nugu was a little bit of a nuisance, but couldn't actually do damage. But Eddie sure as hell gets blown up.
The world was that Eddie's just out of the fight now. Kiang trying to find something on the backline, but Slow's going to be able to clean that up as the LeBlanc doing an unreasonable level of damage this early on. You get to the balloons, you get to the pen shoes. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, Eddie cannot stand up towards this LeBlanc. Artifact could, but now with the lanes broken open, things being swapped around, Eddie is the one who has to sort of sit in mid lane. This is very aggressive.
Oh my goodness.
Young just kind of went into the 1v3. I guess trying to maybe counteract the Lantern take and capitalize on that to jump on Nugu, but it didn't happen, or it happened a bit too late, and Kyung was just in the wrong place and got completely blown up. And now Nugu feels pretty good. He feels pretty online, and Zuhao's going to walk into a bad spot. Kind of gave it away, Zodiac.
Yeah, the double distortion once again. Now Eddie's going to get chained up, getting pulled back into the rest of the team. And Zodiac gets the kill, even though a lot of that damage was done by Nogo. It just doesn't matter in the slightest.
He flayed the Gale Force.
Yes.
I'm giving that to Zodiac. He earned it.
Fair enough that it was a great outplay coming through from Zodiac. Again, the damage was there from Nugu, but you'll take that all day as there's no response. Once again, Kang a little bit late to the party. And again, you've lost top tower, but that's all you've really lost in this circumstance. Eventually, I think Kratos was able to bring that one down, but the trade-off is that mid, inner, and bot inner is even getting pushed at this point. You have to be terrified if you're anybody walking into the LeBlanc. She's been able to destroy anybody that stands in front of her. The third dragon of the game, currently being taken by Box Esports. They've got the setup for it basically everywhere. They haven't even started team fighting, really. Team Secret has not found a way to take like a 5-on-5 or anything a little bit less than that, like 4v4, 3v3, anything like that. Because when that starts happening, remember, Sunmer has had basically a free laning phase as well. He's already on an item and a half on this Kennen. And so now we've got you have Dragon advantage, you've got a powerful team fighter in Kennen who has not gotten a single kill, and then you've got this insane LeBlanc, you've got this really powerful Aphelios. You are not struggling at all. Box Esports is absolutely chilling in this game compared to Team Secret. I don't know how it is that they respond. Look at that gold ranking right now.
They read my mind. I was about to ask for this, as we just see, such a huge lead. We see about 2,000 gold for Sunma ahead of Kratos. We see 2,000 for, 1.5 for Nugu ahead of Artifact. It's really just kind of Eddie keeping up, and even then he's about 800 down. It's not looking good for the side of Team Secret. They still have gold in certain places. They still have gold that can turn a team fight if them being misstep, and this will even it up a little bit. But that's fine for the side of Team Secret. They're happy. They're just from Box Esports. They're happy to just let this one go. Try not to let that charge. There we go. As they've decided, okay, that's fine. We're just gonna own the top side of the map. We're going to make sure we're going to try and push in this turret. We're going to make sure when Baron spawns, we have full control and can start to threaten to take that and offer a turn, perhaps. Okay, we're going to actually see the reset, so I'm not going to jump straight onto it, but still. Lots of vision on the top side that Team Secret has to spend the time clearing out now, because MBE are just owning wherever they decide to put their pressure on the map. It's a bloodthirst to complete it for slows, and now it's going to be extra difficult for Team Secret to cut through.
Neither team has been able to, or this Team Secret squad hasn't been able to get onto Ophelia super effectively over the course of the game. There were a couple of times at the beginning where it was a little bit touch and go, but wasn't able to convert any of that. And now, like you said, it's going to be really hard to find something up against this Ophelia. So the Baron has been set up now for a couple of minutes as well, like you were saying just seconds ago. That's a nice pull. That's a great catch. So it's going to be 2 ultimates down just for the 1 pick onto Zuhao. But now there's no ward pressure. Now there's no massive engage to follow up alongside the Vi. Well, at least not easy enough. Kratos might have to do something against double TP. They actually forced double TP right here. Okay.
Summer's on the top side of the map. He's kind of in the wrong spot, but he can get this deep flank.
Mm-hmm. Gonna prevent Team Secret from walking up because I think they're terrified of Sunmer just kind of running through them. They saw him on the wardage, and now 3,500 health. This is a dead Baron. There is not much else to be said here. There is no contest. They're gonna lose Baron buff on Team Secret. And Box Esports once again showing off what it is that they're able to do at their maximum. We saw this last week up against Cerberus Esports, and we were like, okay, this is pretty good, but we got to see if they can do it again. Bobby, they're doing it again. I know that,
Yeah. They've put on a very good show so far. 6,000 gold ahead. Now it's 2 minutes of the Dragon. They have Baron to work with. You're just going to find a Vi, but I think Small Kyung is going to find a LeBlanc. And okay, in the end, they do about as much damage to each other as. And it's all okay. Bit of a early reset from Kyung. Wants to be as strong as possible for the actual Dragon encounter. But I like this, attempting to play on the 2 lanes, sort of abandoning the top side. Nuku could push a little bit faster, admittedly, but they want to try and get MBE they want to try and get these waves pushed in so Team Secret can't really contest this Dragon. They have a minute to do so. If they're lucky, they can push down a tower in the bot lane, but they're not pushing that lane very aggressively. It should be fairly easy for Team Secret to commit their resources to defend it. But it's all about securing that soul point. That's what this Baron is going to be utilized for.
Very much so. And now, I mean, with Baron buff pushing in on the bottom side, Sunmer's down here. You already have mid lane set up. You've got bot lane set up. You've got a bunch of vision in the jungle. Should be easy enough to grab up 3rd Dragon if that is the potential target, as Nugu is going to nearly destroy Kratos. Literally, if the chain hits, I think it tags for enough damage, and that's going to be an execution onto the Gnar. Not going to be able to find that one. Mega Gnar also forced now, so.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure that was purely to force the Naba, but I think even Nugu was a bit surprised with how much damage that did to Kratos, and they still can't really touch this tower. The wave player is still just a bit too good between Eddie and Artifact, but the damage is done, the Dragon is spawning, and now MBE are in a great position to pick that up for free. Team Secret could try and brute force their way into it, maybe try and pick up a kill, but nope, they're just spread out and just concede and just try and weather the Baron, which is fair. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they're going to lose their bottom tower now as Nugu continues to try to bully away. It honestly, with the support, it wasn't able to. I think it popped it just a second ago on Zuhao more than anything else. As Tomrio still taking the Dragon 30 minutes later. His team also backed in the tie. His team literally backed without him because they just have to be there. Goodness.
Okay, Tomrio. They are playing full protect the carry.
Yes.
Getting that Knight's Vow second, even ahead of a mythic item. That's quite interesting. I'm not sure where it's onto. I presume slows, but given Nugu's propensity for jumping forward, it could be on him and give that LeBlanc a little bit of tankiness to be a bit more aggressive with those players.
The Elixir of Iron is also an interesting choice for this early in the game. I know you could use it around really, really necessary objectives, but like, why this early? Like was he expecting a coin flip around this Dragon? Is that what the anticipation was? Maybe just holding it for whatever. Actually, did he pop it?
Yeah.
Tomrio popped it. Okay, maybe they're trying to just like clamp down on the top lane here. Maybe they're like, okay, this top tower is where we make our definitive stand. That is a little bit strange, but it speaks to Box Esports knowing that they're going to make something aggressive happen, knowing that they want to push back this Team Secret squad. They don't want to wait for Artifact to get into this one, as that's going to be a play into the mid lane. Kratos really low, now going to allow Kiang to do more, but of course the rotate from the rest of Box Esports is going to be able to get them quite a bit more space. Kiang able to queue out, does get tagged up by the chain, he's going to get out of range for any additional follow-up from Nugu, but that means that mid lane is under severe fire right now from Box Esports. As they just walk it up mid lane, Artifact isn't able to shift over. TP is going to keep a minion up and make sure that they have the space for it. Maybe it was a great play from Tomra. Maybe they do just want to clamp things off and end the game right here and right now.
Waiting for the engage. Nugu's going to
he's
do
half
poking, but Tomra, he's a big guy with this Elixir of Iron, but isn't actually going to push for a dive. So it's a mid lane inhibitor tower broken, which is going to be a lot of good for the side of MBE. They're going to be quite happy with that. They actually got the inhibitor as well, so that's free pressure. I didn't notice that, but Baron is going to be up in a minute. They're going to have that free pressure in mid. They're going to have it for the Baron. They're going to have it for the Dragon as well. So two important objectives where they're going to get free prio in mid, which is an absolutely good time to take an inhibitor.
It's a little bit wild altogether. Kind of cool to see that Box Esports has actually been playing really effectively around the map. The Elixir of Iron still confuses me to some extent, but I know that Tom Rio was like, okay, we just win the game if they decide to fight us anytime soon, so maybe that was the thought process. And now stepping into hyper late game, or getting really, really into the late game, you've got almost your third item. That's Infinity Edge, I think, done for slows, which is why he's backing right now. 24 seconds until the Baron buff means that they can wait for that, grab it up, go clean up the rest of the map, and be done with it. Be done with everything else. Yeah, there's your massive power spike. Rabadon's is nearly done. Goodness gracious, Box Esports is so juiced in this game. But like you've got like Rabadon's nearly completed for Summer. Rabadon's is going to be done soon enough for Nugu, as well as having like the Dark Seal stacks beginning to go up. Team Secret just cannot do anything. Team Secret, like, they can't fight, which is usually their bread and butter. They're going to stall this game to 45 minutes, which is what Team Secret always does. But at no point are they going to feel like they have control or an ability to come back unless they really get a massive fight win with Artifact here around the Baron buff. And there are enough members to maybe make that happen. It is all 10 members on this side of the map right here and right now.
Green and white, so their Baron shedding capabilities is immense for slow.
Play. Tomrio jumps in, ultimate gets dropped in the middle of everybody. Eddie almost gets wrecked immediately, flash, and that's going to be Nugu just finding an assassination. Actually, just slows the fountain. Now Sunburn into the back. This is just over. I don't even know what else to say about that one. They got shoved in so many directions. I thought it was going to be necessary. Kiang might die to the Ignite. Is not going to, but Nugu is going to find the Vi. Yeah, you can't get away from
you can't get away from LeBlanc. That's going to be pretty okay. That's gonna be 3 kills. That's not enough for NBA to feel confident enough to just hard force the mid lane. But okay, so is that his real flash?
I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter.
He doesn't need it, but respect.
respect for just to get slows a little bit faster onto the Baron buff so they can continue to push. I mean, you do have red, white, you're able to get slows in the right circumstance. Now you got Baron buff, top lane, Sumner, and Nugu going to be able to punish. I mean, they just clean everything. Like it feels like this is a different squad. If you had taken every nameplate off this map and you had made me watch these 2 games, I'd have been like, okay, they're either both Team Secret that won or something like that. But no, it's not even close to being the case here.
No, this has been pretty comfortable from the side of NBA start to finish. They've had winning lanes. They've had good pressure from Tomrio, and I mean Zodiac has absolutely crushed this game. And this time around, it's Tomrio finding a beautiful ultimate. The follow-up, Zuhao can't block the hook correctly, and Eddie just gets removed, and it's a pure rout from Team Secret, and that's where the blood starts to spill. Summer can't quite chase down Zuhao, but it's fine. They get the jungle, they get the Baron, and now they just walk it on in. Oh no! Oh, they got the Dragon as well.
Yeah, Tech Soul just dropped an additional 200 damage right there on that combo. You did not need more true damage on the combo from Nugu. Nugu didn't even hit chains or a second ability. I'm pretty sure it was just a distortion and a Q. That's going to be an ultimate onto Kratos. That's the bottom tower. Kiang is going to go down now. Tries to ult, but doesn't even do 200 damage of health to Sunmer. That's going to be a big ultimate coming out. Zodiac, or my bad, Slow's not getting the Pater that I think you wanted on that one, but it just doesn't matter as they have too much damage. Tomrio does go down. There's at least that. Nugu is still available as well as this massive assassin for the team is in the back line. Oh my goodbye, Eddie. Nugu just says, for the halibut, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to bring you down. There's nothing you can do as Box Esports pops off, Bob.